Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Operation Status Quo. You know it's the place to go, and that's why you're here with me today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeedly do. How are you? I love you too. Give me hey-o to get started here on a Wednesday. We made it back to Wednesday this week. It's a Wednesday, then it's a Thursday, then it's a Wednesday, then it's a Thursday, but there's other days in between. We still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, I mean, there's a bunch of days, but Wednesday and Thursday are the days that you know. One of these days, one of these days. You generally, I try to get here on a Wednesday or Thursday. For you, ladies and gentlemen, preferably the Wednesday. I don't know why I care so much about the days. Why do I start the show every darn week talking about what freaking day it is? What the hell do you care? I'm here. That's all that matters. I'm here and you're here and we're here together. Hey-o. Who am I? Who am I, you may ask? Well, I am Pete.Palma. I am your user-friendly host, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. And this, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, most importantly, say it with me because I know you know it well, we learn to create our own flow of quo, yo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there right now? Huh? I'm watching. Wait, what? Oh, here we are. What are you doing? What are you doing to create your own flow of quo? Because if you are not living your flow of quo, you're living someone else's flow. And that is the ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding no right here on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. Do you feel inspired yet? Are we inspired? Are we having a good time? Do you feel that? Do you feel the connection and the joy that we share with one another? I hope so. I do. I feel it. I'll tell you what I'm doing to create my own flow of quo before we get started. First of all, it's been nice here. You know, I'm in the beautiful Florida, right? So I've been blessed with the nice weather and everything. So I've been doing my dipsy doodles. We've been back on dipsy doodle patrol, basically, for the past couple weeks. Not yesterday, though, because it did get a little chilly the last couple days. I don't think I'll make it over there today either, but we'll be back. You know, I personally enjoy the dipsy doodle. And for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, that's my swim in the pool, all right? My dipsy doodle, I really enjoy. I'll tell you, it's not just about, you know, I really feel personally, this is what I'm talking about, creating your own flow of quo, like, you know, taking the time to do things for your that you enjoy to do, however that works for you. But for me personally, you know, in my birth chart, I don't have a lot of water. You know, I'm a lot of fire and air. I don't know if that comes across, you know. But anyway, and so I'm always like you know, kind of worked up and stuff, and I need to, like, it's almost like I have to, like, you know, soak myself to, like, when I go in the pool, it's like. Yeah, so all the energy just kind of, steams off me. But I do feel like a nice chakra cleanse. You know, I just take my time and I do a little swimming around, and I just feel like the water's flowing and the energy, it's cleansing me, even though it's chlorine and poison. Either way, you know, I kind of say a little blessing and thank the water in the pool and hope that it doesn't kill me too badly. I was talking to the guy actually that cleans the pool last week, and he was saying after he really got into cleaning pools for a job, he stopped swimming in pools. I say, well, I guess there's probably, you know, pretty good amount of, you know, pee and stuff. And he goes, yeah, but that's what the chlorine is for. And I go, yeah, that's what the chlorine is for. I'm swimming in people's piss and chemicals. Hey, but I'm cleansing my chakras. So, you know, that's my flow of quo. Hey-o. Oh, man. And on top of it, I'll give you a treat at the end, so stay till the end of the show today. Or if you don't want to watch anything, you can just kind of like scroll through until, I get to the point later in the show. I have completed a new single that I'm going to be releasing, hopefully, I don't know, within another month. I don't know. I got to talk to get the release part done. But the song's all done, and it'll be coming out relatively soon. So I'm going to give you a little preview of my new song. I'm really happy with it. It really sounds pretty cool. I like it, you know, but that's, you know, it's funny because when I was making the song, and I'm sorry I'm going off on tangents right off the bat, but I'll get to my point because, you know, what's my point? This is the live stream of consciousness. It's all about just connecting and talking, and I'm sharing who I am authentically so you feel comfortable to share who you are authentically. You don't have to share it with me, but whoever you do share it with, you should know that you should feel safe to feel authentic in who you are and the way you present yourself. And for better or for worse, and who likes it, who doesn't, it doesn't really matter because it's really just you being your authentic self, and it's not up to you to decide who's going to like it or not like it. And it's not really your responsibility responsibility or concern to care who likes or doesn't like or wants you to do this or wants you to do that, right? That's the whole point of Operation Status Quo, right? We have to work together with each other. We do things, not everything's but at the same time, we should be doing what we want. And when I was making the song and worked with my producer, Lanny Battistini. You can look him up, Hands in Motion Music. He does a great job. Anyway, when I was working with him with the song, he was, he's trained, the guy went to Berkeley and stuff. So, he's a real musician, more so than me in certain ways. Like he really knows the real depth of music. I really give him credit. It's amazing. But, he likes to keep things, lack of a better term, like in a commercial sense. And I say, listen, I don't want anything to be commercial. I said, I don't care. I'm not about trying to make a song to please anybody. I want to make the song of what I'm hearing within myself and let it come out, and whoever likes it likes it, whoever doesn't like it doesn't like it. It really doesn't matter, right? It's because it's again about providing your authentic self. And I'm always looking to be like anything that's like not in the realm of mainstream as what I'm trying to do, not because of purposely, like I'm not looking to try to create what I do, and that doesn't just go for the music, but everything that I do, even this show. That's why I am where I am with subscribers and followers and everything else, because I don't follow any type of format or try to beat the algorithms or, you know what I mean? I literally just try to say, this is fun for me and this is how I present and this is what I do, and for better, for worse, as I say, and whoever wants to be part of it can, whoever doesn't, doesn't, right? And it all just kind of works out. So, I encourage you to do that for yourself, whatever it is. Like, you don't have to follow anybody's rules and such. Everybody's always focused on the monetary end of things, or I don't know, right? And I just don't really think that way. You can't put a price on being your authentic self, really, right? And what's the price of that? What's that worth? It's like, that's why I always say money's such a crazy thing. If we weren't so wrapped up in that aspect of everything, think about all the things that people really love to do and things that people really are good at, that how we can all be helping each other and building a more stable and workable society. But unfortunately, everything comes down to money all the time and fear of being secure in what you need because of the way our system is set up, that you need money to do anything. It's like kind of like a, just to say on it, like just saying about like I'm going to get into my point. I'm going to, I promise. But the just to say with the money and stuff. I mean, I have a nice retention pond outside the back of my place, and I sit out there a lot. And I was watching the birds earlier today. There's always a lot of wildlife in the birds, and I'm thinking, these birds, they're not thinking anything. They're not thinking about what's going on in the Middle East, or who likes or doesn't like Mr. T, and all the political nonsense. They're not thinking about what commercials coming on TV to sell you what widget next, or they're just doing their thing. Like the whole world blowing up all over the place and people going crazy and doing stuff, but the birds are still out there just swimming in the pond, flying around, doing their little thing. The ducks are quacking at each other. It's just like, why do we not do that? Like, why is it humanity? Why do we not do it? All hands on deck. Let's start acting like birds. It's crazy to me, right? Hey-o. We're the only ones. We're supposed to be the cream of the crop on this planet, most educated or whatever, smartest beings. We're going to Mars. But the birds, they know what they're doing better than we know what we're doing, right? So I don't know. I should have made this show today. Let's give it to the birds. Let's hear it for the birds. All right. Today, if I could, please, thank you. I will, once again. It always takes me a while, ladies and gentlemen. I can't help it. Like I said, it's the live stream of consciousness. Once I turn this thing on, I don't know what's going to happen. I think I've said this before. It's like in the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. It's like, once I turn my hat around, I become a machine. It's the same thing here. When I turn this mic on, I don't know what happens. Like my brain goes, into another Z, and then we're in a whole nother realm, and then it just has to flow through me and come out to you, and that's what we do, and that's the beauty of us being together here on Operation Status Quo. So today is the 18th of March in the good year 2026, and today's program is entitled, ladies and gentlemen, Usurping Utopia. Yeah, because, out there in the world, it seems that, let's say it this way first. people in general are always looking for a perfect world. And the truth is there is no perfect world. The only true perfection is the dissolution of the idea of separation and the return to the oneness type thing. But that's the nature of duality and why we live the way we live, right? You have to have that contrast. So, people are always looking for a perfect world and fighting with each other over issues and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. And this culture's right and this viewpoint is right and this religion or this, that, and all these things. But the truth is you have to make your own utopia because the powers that be, as we always talk about here on Operation Status Quo, are well aware of much higher ways of being and living and technologies and history of our origins and everything else. And they are not going to easily divulge that information to everybody because that way, again, would take away all their power over, right? The power over paradigm that they love so much, that we love so much, because we still, we're out there, we're doing it, right? We're supporting it. Everyday people are out there every day still doing everything that they're told to do and trying to still work within the world instead of just saying we're not going to do it, we're going to start fresh. But, that's a whole nother story in a sense. But the point is for all of us to create our own utopia. That's the same thing in a sense of, creating your flow of quo. You create your flow of quo, you create your own little utopia. Because the truth is, like I said, the duality of life will never provide a perfect world. Like I just said, the only perfection really is in the totality of the oneness, and that which is a concept that goes beyond our little egoic mindset. What we want in these individual embodiments and lives that we have, we're animals in a sense, right? That's why people are easily able to become lazy and not thinking for themselves. You get used to just it's like anything else. I'll give another example with the birds. There's one of my neighbors down the street here always has a thing out there of all kinds of seeds and stuff, I guess, for the ducks. And, so every morning, those birds, all those ducks and everything, they are always there going to eat. They know the food's going to be there. So they go eat the food. It's the same thing, with humanity. It's like we're overfed. we're overstimulated with nonsense. We're never given space to think for ourselves in a different regard. So it's just, it's an interesting thing of how we think we're so smart, but really, we're not even aware of being in charge of what we are, what we are as a physical. Like we let the physicality of ourselves and the subconscious programming pretty much take over and just guide us, and we all become like these little robots out there. So no, and the truth is, I would say too, that no one who, if you embody in this life, you have to even be aware that you have embodied in this life and be aware that you chose this life, right, on a mission to be here for whatever that is. It's still your choice as far as a soul goes, that you're here. It's not like you're here by accident, random type thing. So you really can never expect perfection in this world, right? You can't expect to always just be living with joy and have, levels of opulence. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, having things, obviously, right? We all have things, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying if it wasn't for, it's very, very simple. If it wasn't for the contrast of the duality of our existence itself, there would never be any purpose to do anything. There would never be. Why do the birds get scared and fly all the time? They're self-preservation. The contrast of the landscaper coming by with the lawnmower and they think they're going to get run over scares them, so they move. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, if something didn't happen in your life, in our lives in general, to get you to feel something and take some sort of action, what would you ever do? And what would be the purpose? Like, what would be the purpose really of, especially if you have the viewpoint and understanding, or maybe you agree or don't agree, wherever you are, it's fine. But I'm just saying, if you really realize and accept, and it's part of your, I hate to use the word belief system, because sometimes, beliefs are just beliefs, right? Doesn't mean it's the truth. But if it's not part of your essence, maybe I can use that word of a realization and of knowing that you're more than this life, and this life comes and goes. You saying, why would you even be here? What's the point, right? You already know that on another level, you're way beyond what you are in this life. So if you're here in this life and this is going on, we can't expect any sort of perfection, because there is no perfection, because there's always levels and there's always different mindsets. And again, it's the contrast. You're always going to have, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, they go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Hey-o. And it's the same thing with everything we do in this life. You can't have the good without the bad. You can't have the day without the night. You can't have feeling full without feeling hungry. It's like, it's just a part of what it is. And I think if people were able to better deal with that, or make that part of their, like, the forefront of their thought, then we wouldn't be so reactionary to things that happen. And again, and I everyday life is one thing, in our everyday lives and how we go about, you take it to these other levels of the world stage and the things that go on, then, people start to say, well, this can't be and that can't be. But again, like I always try to say, it's levels. And what we see, it's like a magician, what they do, right? It's like, it's like, watch this hand, watch his hand, while they make, this disappear over here. So, and that's really what we see in these power plays. And, even what's going on right now, all these things, it's distraction. It's to induce levels of fear. They know what they're doing way ahead. I talked about this a lot last week, so I'm not going to, kind of get back into it. But just to say, like, in general, there's always going to be levels of division and strife. It's just part of the nature of the human physical condition. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I say, your soul's here on a mission, like you chose. So some souls are newer souls, are just working with what it is to be in a body, right? What it is to even engage in a physicality in this regard in life. Some souls are older souls that are able to provide perspective, to help consciousness develop and provide information to the collective that helps the whole collective type to grow in certain ways. I don't, I'm just trying to say that it's always going to be this ebb and flow. We talk about it here all the time on Operation Status Quo. Did I say, what are you doing out there to create your own flow? Are you hearing anything I'm saying? Does anything make sense? I'm just doing a stream of consciousness, so I really don't know if I'm making sense. Hey-o. It's funny because the dance just goes on and on as far as the human condition. We are always in a state of evolution and really de-evolution, because we know what goes up must come down. I've talked about it before. It's always levels, right? Where humans will progress and get to a stage, and then the energies will reflect back, and it'll go down another way. I'll go into a darker period of way. That's what I think we're coming out of now, and moving back up. And then the time will come where we get up to a certain level, and you come back down. I used the example, was it last week when I was talking about the waves, or the week before, or whatever? But it's the same thing with the wave. The wave goes up, the wave comes down. It's, and then there's another wave, and then there's another wave, and but it's all always happening. There's never just one. Again, the only real one total answer per se is that there is no answer in this life. Everything is a reflection, a projection, and everything is an opportunity for us to learn and grow and see things in a different way. It's like what we take from it, not about what it really is. It's all symbolism, essentially, in the physical world. Things happen, people get hurt, whatever you want to say. But I also feel those things are part of choices that are made. Like, just to use an example, I don't know, just say Titanic or something. Would you even say 9/11, right? Like the people in those buildings that perished, like, to me, even though from our physical way, it looks like obviously the buildings were attacked, and I'm not even getting into the depth of that right now. I'm just saying it very surface level. The buildings were attacked and people inside died. But on a bigger level, I feel the souls that did pass during that time, maybe not consciously aware, but on a deeper level, they chose, in a sense, that to happen and to be part of that, because that event was so strong emotionally to the population that it helps. It was like, it's part of what has pushed. I mean, think about that. Now that happened, 2001. So it's here we are in 2026, so 25 years later, and it's still, think about how strong that event still is, and what's coming out about it now, the truth behind it, and how it fits into all these other facets. I'm saying it's not always like a life. We're not gonna figure everything out in a lifetime. Like, we're all here in stages of parts of pieces. That's why, whether you believe in reincarnation or not, but just to say, if you do, you come back multiple times, or you live through different time periods. It's always, to put it simply as I could put it, because I always talk in crazy circles, but to put it as simply as I could put it, is just the human existence itself, the physical itself, is its own entity, creation, that's always in a state of evolution, and there's always different parameters in which it is. When I say the word flourish, the existing, I guess, because it flourishes sometimes and sometimes does not, I suppose. But in general, it's always in a state of growth and development. It is its own thing. It's its own existence, and it plays itself out in endless ways. That's what we're always seeing. That's why I always talk about how, not to take anything seriously, not to. Not say, you take things, you know what I'm trying to say by not taking things seriously, just like life is life. You do what you have to do, and you go with the flow. You create your own flow of quo, and that's just the way we roll here on Operation Status Quo, and that's just the message that we're always trying to send to the people out there to enjoy your life. You got to enjoy your life. You got to do it right. Yeah. Hey-o. So, that's basically what I kind of wanted to put out there today. You have to, usurping Utopia, ladies and gentlemen. They're usurping Utopia, but you don't have to usurp your own Utopia. Create your Utopia just by, and the truth is, really, I guess, maybe I'll leave it at this. We'll see how many more thoughts come into my head, but it's up to you to create there is no utopia, is what I'm saying. So you have to come from that realization and look at how you vibrate your frequency, your energy through what this is, and how to make it work best for you. We all have to individually do our best to make it work the best for our situation individually, without impeding on the progress of others as well. And that's really as simple as it can be. It's just, you're here and you do your best you can, and you don't give your power away to other entities and forces that want to keep you down. You believe in yourself, and you do what is best to make the world a happy place for your time and who you're seeing and who you're around. You just put out the positive that you want to see, and let that be contagious, as I talk about a lot. So I don't know. That's just basically what I'm feeling today overall. Like, I don't know. I'm just always trying to say the same darn thing in a certain way. It's just like, I just don't understand why everybody takes what's going on so seriously and believes so much in the structures of our world and the way things are. They just don't have to be the way. We can create anything we want to create, and it doesn't have to be crazy or over the top or disrespectful, or I don't know. It's just, but the fact that everybody so engaged and bought in to this certain path of life and the beliefs that some of us hold so deeply of, no, this is what's true and this is how you're supposed to do it. And the truth is, we should all just realize, okay, well, this is how I like to do it. This is what I believe, but it doesn't mean that is the totality of it all, and that is the only right way. Just because it works well for you or whatever doesn't mean that it is the one complete answer for everybody, because there is no one complete answer. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So, if we didn't need to be here for the contrast and the duality, for the learning and for the growth and for the development and for whatever is going on beyond our understanding, then it would be the purpose, right? If everything was like just that, why would the oneness even separate from itself in a sense to create what we engage in every day? It doesn't even make sense. So there's obviously a higher purpose, and we have to be able to be detached from what we're faced with all the time here on the physical side of things, and let life lead the way. That's what I say in that one song. All we can do is let life lead the way. All we can do is let life lead the way. Remember, that's from Life of I Am, streaming on the Happy Day album, if you haven't heard that before. All right, that's what I got for you for that. I'm going to give a round of applause. Yeah. I love you. I do. I really do. Hey-o. All right, so let me give you, before I get out of here, let me give you a little blip of my my new song. And I probably can't play too much. It's funny because every time I try to do stuff with my music, I always get, copyright infringements. It's like, but it's my song. I copyrighted it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, but now I got to fight with people, like, especially YouTube and all. So let's see here. Where am I? All right, so I'm going to give you a little blip. This is my new song. It's called, where am I? It's called Let It Begin. Let me turn up my volume on here. I was going to give you a little bit, like the first, 20 seconds. And then, but it's going to be released soon. So I hope you enjoy, but I'm going to share. It's like off my phone anyway. So it's not like, here we go. But here we go. Let's see here. Oh. I like it so far. Sounds pretty good. Here we go. Yeah. All right, that's what we got. That's going to stop it right there. How about a round of applause? That's the new song going to be released sometime soon. Hey-o. I'm excited to get that out there for everybody to be able to stream on all your favorite music streaming platforms. Boo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for you here today on Operation Status Quo. I love you guys out there. Seriously, let's just, keep smiling. Keep on smiling. Knowing that. How's it go? Forevermore, that's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining. Do. I forgot the words again. All right, anyway, but that's what I got. Seriously, keep smiling, keep shining. Don't be afraid to do your thing and live how you want to live and enjoy your life. And just forget all this nonsense that you're doing. Let's start fresh. Let's wipe the slate clean and start fresh, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, right here on Operation Status Quo. All right, so that's what I got for you here today. I love you guys out there individually as well as a group. I know you very well know that, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and, of course, those you despise as well. And don't forget, too, by the way, the website's coming soon, a couple weeks, a week or two. We're getting there. So website, the song, all that stuff. Keep following, subscribe here, follow me on the socials. All right. I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. God bless you. Until next time, Operation Status Quo disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.